Bong. Welcome, episode 11. It's minimalist time this morning, when you do procedurally generated music. Actually, is it more random? You know what? I don't know. It's a procedure. It's all the inputs, the speed of my biking, the clothes that I'm wearing, how strong the sun is. But this morning, it was a single note. So yeah, I'm Uyghur the Farmer, and I started this little podcast because I needed a place to ramble. So this is episode 11, and I'm on my way to work. And hopefully this time I can find some thoughts about ethics. Oh, that car's going too fast. Ethics, our expectations of players for No Man's Sky, the ethics of leaking the game early, and what about some early testing and stuff like that. So, this was suggested by Fasal, and so let's get at it. So let my brain think about it for a second. Bung, 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 bung. All right, so people are crazy hyped about this game. And it's not just this game. It's any game that people think is going to be the game to end all games. This game that they won't have to buy another game, that it'll satisfy all of their longings, that emptiness they feel, the thing that drives them in the first place to play games. They want to just have a place where they can live out their fantasies. And when you have a game, so if you have a game like Mario Kart, there are going to be some expectations, but you kind of know what you're going to get. There's going to be a couple surprises, but you're really more excited to just play another Mario game. But and the same with Halo, right? A new Halo comes out, you're excited to play a new Halo. But when something like, so if we stay on the Halo example, if it's something like Destiny, where it's, a bit of what to expect. You're expecting a little bit of Halo because it's Bungie. But other than that, you don't know what you're going to expect. And the developer's vision is so huge. And of course they don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to spoil it. So they leave things like, you can go to all these planets. And they show that E3 trailer where they're just sort of walking in this unknown area, and their friend, you can see the ship of their friend zooming in and dropping them off. And of course you don't see menus. You don't see the matchmaking. You don't see the out-of-game chat being present in that. So all you're seeing is the edited final result. This wonderful, magical experience. And then we do what gamers do, and what people do is we dream. And we dream of the possibilities, the unencumbered possibilities of what could be. And and so expectations grow and grow, and you start you end up being your own brainstorming session. So you take this concept that developers are proposing and are working on, and you keep building from it. What if? What if this, what if that? What if there was no loading screens? What if you could fly your ship between planets? What if, what if you could have like custom matches? So I'm still talking about Destiny, but it can apply to anything. Or in the case, and so the game comes out, and noticeably so, it's more like, it's some of those hopes and dreams. And it's true, it's a little bit like Halo and a little bit more. But there's only so much that a certain number of people can do. And so, yeah, so you take something like No Man's Sky, where you do have some forerunners, right? Frontier, Elite 2, or Elite Dangerous, or any of these sort of space exploration, fighting, trading, surviving games. And then you go procedural and you think Black and White and Spore. And you think of the good things and the bad things of those games. And then you follow it for a couple of years. And you watch and you listen and you see the dreams of the developers unfold. And especially when the developers are so open and honest, and tons of interviews and asking questions and not answering other questions and saying things they want to keep secret, and you just start dreaming like crazy. Everything is a possibility. And so I'd say for No Man's Sky, expectations and the hype, and if I guess that's the single word to sort of sum it up all up, and is hype. And then the internet does what the internet does best, is it plays a great game of telephone, and you get a hype train, and facts get mushed up and changed and modified and invented and shared and shared and shared, and so then that leads to, we're a couple weeks away and the game goes gold, and it's getting loaded onto PlayStation servers, and it's getting shipped out to stores, and it is inevitable that it will be leaked. Because everyone wants to be first. Every comment board has, I'm first. New raid comes out. You want to be first. New level cap comes out. Give me a second here. New level cap comes out, and you want to be at that top level. And any advantage, anything that you can do to be first and have those bragging rights. And it's not just games, it's everything. It's startup companies, it's research papers, it's everything. Everything in this world is driven by being the first. So, an opportunity comes along that someone is managing or stocking a local GameStop or EV Games or Best Buy, and there's a copy of No Man's Sky, and well, someone's gonna want to play it, and they're gonna make a crap ton of money on that sale, right? Well over $1,000. And if we were talking maybe 20 years ago, this wouldn't be a big deal. Because there's no community communication, right? There was no Reddit. The internet was just rumblings. Hell, most people didn't even really have a computer they can use, let alone a computer on the internet. But now everyone has it. And everyone is dumping cable and traditional broadcast TV. And they're switching to Twitch. and they're switching to watching YouTube videos because people are broadcasting what it is they want to see. And even more so, when you have a leak, it's like the tree. It's like the knowledge of good and evil. It's the knowledge of no man's sky. And who doesn't want to know? And for so many people, it matters not whether or not they're the ones playing it. They want to see it. They want to be the ones first to see if it confirms or denies all their dreams. So you have this attitude of being first, and you have a desire to know the future, and then a leak's going to happen. And people cannot help but spoil. No matter what it is. If you exist on the internet, almost nothing is a surprise anymore. Nothing. You can't even, there is no movie that you can go watch that you won't at least have someone's opinion, or game out there that is secret. And the more hyped a game is, the more likely it's going to be leaked, and leaked in such a horrible way. So, is it moral? I don't know. It's not immoral to play a game, and there sure as hell isn't anything that says you should not play a game before this date. Maybe it's immoral to sell the game because you're breaking a contract with the publisher. But to play it? Nah. To share it? Nah. But you're ruining it for yourself. You honestly are. You're just spoiling it. For an old gamer like me, so much of the joy of gaming is experiencing something that you have never experienced before. I know that when I played the first Dark Souls, I had heard that the game was hard, but that was it. I hadn't watched any trailers. It had already been out for a couple years, and I started playing it, and I was literally blown away. Same with Resident Evil 4. It looked like a neat game, so I picked it up. I think I picked it up when I got my Wii, but I played the GameCube version first, and then I got the Wii version. And the game was so huge and so long. That's what she said. And I was just blown away. And that's what we want. I think that's, as gamers, what we want. We want to have our minds blown, our visions expanded. And leaks do that, right? Because we want to know about it so soon, and we want to understand what's going on. And we really just can't wait. So, where's the morality? I don't know. But you're wasting it for yourself. And you may not think it's a spoiler. You may just share a single screenshot or a single image, but it spoils it. And especially if you have a mathematical or a gamer or an Asperger's or an autistic brain, if your brain works differently and you got a photographic memory, you're going to see that image all over the place in the game, and it's going to lessen the unique experience. So maybe you should just stay off the internet, I guess, because you have to accept. But you can choose not to watch the Twitch reveals like I have, and you can choose to not look at spoilers intentionally like I have, and just keep on dreaming. So, But what some other games have done, game developers has done, is they've moved towards a extensive beta test period where huge chunks of their games are opened up and shared for everyone. Maybe closed beta first and then open beta. And it's pretty interesting because it does a couple things. First off, and I think of Division or I don't know, what's that shooting one with Blizzard? Overwatch. And what they do is everyone has access to it, and you can be first, right? You can be first to experience some of the game. And you can get hyped about something that you've actually seen and played. And it's valuable test data for the developers. And then those betas are closed, and the game gets released. And so then expectations on launch day have been tempered, have been refined. You kind of know what you're going to get, and it's not just someone else playing it. And you kind of remove the issue of leaks. I love the old days. I love the old days originally of gaming with shareware and demos. Shareware for me as a gamer was the best thing. I loved going to Zellers or Kmart, and they would have the display rack of all the shareware games. And I remember picking up Commander Keen 4, and Wolfenstein, and loading those up, and literally having an entire gaming experience as shareware. Like, the whole game, the whole initial episode being available for you, and it was magical. And as a kid, you could play that again and again and again. And if you really wanted it and you had some paper route money, you could buy the full game. And there's always going to be piracy, right? So you're always going to be able to, in some way, find the full version of Commander Keen or Wolfenstein. But it was just great. And, you know, that could be the way that Hello Games could have done it, right? Release the demo that everyone's been playing, release the One Planet demo. But I don't know. At some point I just, you know, I think it's just because I'm old. I'm an old fogey. And I dream about these days where the only way that you'd get information about a game was the schoolyard or the local computer game club, where everyone would bring in their box of discs, and that's when you'd copy and share and swap stories about the games that you were playing. You know, the only way that I can see leaks truly being stopped is if, well, first off, you make it so that there is a day one patch that you have to download to log in. It's a, you know, and so they just don't start that patch, that unlock key until the game is launched. You stop physical distributions. And hold on, just gotta get up this hill. Yeah, you stop physical distributions, then you go digital only. But if you do that, then the developers need to add a sharing/selling feature that a digital version is the same as a physical version, so that you can end up having an online marketplace where you can sell your stuff and not at a set value with whatever value, and that would be great. But I'm sort of losing my train of thought. It's really hot today. But when you watch a single guy play a game that's meant to be a living universe game, all you're seeing is the way that he is playing it. And I might be dreaming too far, but I see No Man's Sky as a game that everyone has a different story. Even the fact that he was able to buy all the resources that he needed from all the vendors at the lowest price because the human players hadn't started setting the economy. That alone is like, I don't know, just ruining it. If one person wants to rush the game, then they can rush it. But don't let that form your opinion of the game. Like I was saying yesterday, you know, you can rush through Skyrim or Dark Souls or any game. You could have played vanilla Destiny, played the story content in 8 or so hours, and been like, I'm done. Destiny only has 10 hours of content. Or you can be like the rest of the community, where individually we put in thousands of hours and we're finding ways to live out our lives in this game. So to answer your question, Mick, or to kind of sum it up, the too long didn't read, people's expectations are awesome, and there will come a point where a game will meet and exceed those expectations, or the game will be flexible enough that those expectations can be put in easily, or that the game can be played in such a way that those expectations can be made and met, right? So a real representation of human life. So that's the first thing. Second point, the morality of leaks. I think the only gray area is the people that have a trust agreement, a contract with the publishers, and they're publishing physical, and they are stealing essentially physical copies. So but in terms of actually broadcasting it or watching it, you're just spoiling it for yourself. I think demos, betas, shareware, those models are great because they do allow everyone to have that first experience, and they provide valuable test data, and does sort of help someone decide if they want to spend a lot of money on the game. And yeah, so hope that random ramble was okay. And if anyone else has random things that they want me to talk about, and it really doesn't have to be No Man's Sky, it can be anything. And I'll tie it into gaming somehow because that's what I always do. But you can tweet at me, either at Uyghur the Farmer or at Our Sky Community. I publish the latest episodes on SoundCloud, and the archival is on YouTube. And be excellent to one another and party on, dude.